The temple stood in Jerusalem, radiant with glory. Israel was united. The covenant promises seemed secure, but history would soon fracture. After Solomon's death, the kingdom divided. 10 tribes followed Jeroboam in the north, forming the Kingdom of Israel. 2 tribes remained loyal to the house of David in the south, forming the Kingdom of Judah. What God had united under David was now split by pride and disobedience. This is where the books of Kings and Chronicles begin. Kings tells the story as it unfolded, tracking rulers, failures, and consequences. Chronicles tells the same history with a different purpose, calling the people back to hope, worship, and covenant faithfulness. Together, they reveal not just what happened, but why it mattered. In the northern kingdom of Israel, king after king turned away from the Lord. Jeroboam led the people into idolatry, setting up golden calves and false worship. None of Israel's kings fully returned to God. Prophets, Elijah, and others calling the people to repentance. Yet Israel refused to listen. At last judgment came. Assyria conquered the northern kingdom, and Israel was scattered among the nations. The 10 tribes vanished into exile, just as the prophets had warned. In the southern kingdom of Judah, the line of David continued. Some kings walked faithfully like Hezekiah and Josiah, restoring worship and calling the people back to the Lord. Others led Judah deeper into corruption and injustice. The temple still stood, but hearts were divided. Prophets spoke with urgency, Isaiah, Jeremiah, and others declaring both judgment and hope. They warned that the covenant could not be ignored and that repentance was the only path to life. Eventually, Judah also fell. Babylon marched against Jerusalem. The city was destroyed. The temple was burned. The people were carried into exile. It seemed as though the promises to David had failed and God's presence had departed. But Chronicles reminds us this was not the end. Even in exile, God remained faithful. The covenant endured. The line of David was preserved. God stirred the hearts of foreign kings, and after 70 years, the people were allowed to return. The temple would be rebuilt. Worship would be restored. Kings shows us the cost of unfaithfulness. Chronicles shows us the call to return. Together, they declare a single truth. God is faithful to his covenant, even when his people are not. The throne would fall. The temple would be destroyed. But the promise would remain. The story now waits for a king greater than David. A temple not made with hands, and a kingdom that will never be divided again.